This is so we're live? Is that how it works?
Yes, we're
now?
live. Yes, we're live now.
Okay.
This is
Sorry,
exciting,
I
isn't
don't
it?
do Facebook anymore, so this is
No,
a whole new world.
A whole new world.
And also an old one, but updated.
Yes.
Now what happens?
Well, I'm going to introduce myself, and then no, it's fine. It's good. It's good. We're enjoying. So, hello, my name's Stuart Moses. I'm the host of the Improv London podcast, and I'm here with Jinni Lyons, who's a guest on the Improv London podcast.
I am. I didn't bring a bottle or flowers though, so I'm not the best guest, but I really appreciate the time.
Well, thank you. I encourage the guests to bring me gifts.
Oh no! I feel
but
bad.
You've already given me a pastry from the stage of the nursery.
That's true. Okay, that was in lieu of this moment.
That's pretty much an exclusive club as far as I'm concerned. So we just recorded episode 114, and it was fun, wasn't it?
It was really fun. It was really fun. I talked to myself. That's what I do most days, and then this was just an extension of talking to myself.
I mean, it is a strange world that we live in, that I feel more comfortable inviting people to come and talk to me for an hour about improv, and say, oh, I'm going to share it on the internet, rather than just saying, could we just have a chat about improv? It's a weird world.
I think it's wanting to share something that's important to you.
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yes. So what did we talk about? Can you remember?
I've
written a list.
I talked a lot about myself.
That's very much the raison d'etre of this podcast. If someone doesn't want to talk about themselves, they probably shouldn't really come on.
And I talked about myself doing my solo show, which features myself, and how that came to be. And I talked about teaching for Hoopla as well, and how fun that is.
Yes.
And I talked about directing for the first time when I did a nursery original. And I talked about probably just being quite vain.
Do you think you really think you're
Oh
vain?
yeah, I think there's going to be a certain amount of I'm great at this, to go off and do solo improv, which I didn't say in the podcast. I was just having it in my head.
This is Facebook Live exclusive. So you genuinely, is it vanity to do a solo show?
No, I guess not.
I mean, it might be.
I guess not.
I'm not saying you're not vain. I'm just questioning.
Yeah, I mean, there's no mirror there, so.
Well, there is if you're at the Horse and Stables.
Yes, that was yeah.
If you are performing at the Horse and Stables, there is that mirror on the back wall, which I first found disturbing, and I thought, no, actually, I quite like this.
Oh, and improvathons, we talked about improvathons, and my love for going crazy and making lovely big bold choices after, during no sleep.
Yes, and I said my usual thing that I always say about, I love improv, but I love sleep more.
No, I think you've got to test that theory then. Theories are good to be tested.
So if any of the watchers, viewers, if any viewers have any questions for Jinni, not for me, I mean, I don't mind answering them as well,
you can answer them, yeah.
I'm not very good at answering questions. That's very much why I host the podcast, because I'm...
Okay.
But if anyone does have any questions, do ask. I don't even know how this works at the other end.
Neither do I. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Is this where our egos finally get punctured? Because we're like, ask me a question,
and then nobody does.
And no one does.
I don't know. We've already got people watching. I always think that's already enough feedback for me to think
instant feedback.
It's instant gratification, and it's just I'm not sure it's doing me any good, but I'm just having so much fun doing it. So yes, so you bought me a pastry as part of your Jinni Lyons is an only child.
Yeah, I should say, I know this is probably cruel to do it, but it wasn't specifically for you.
Oh, well, no.
You just put forward a very good case for having it.
Yeah, I think I was...
To which I agreed.
Yeah, I think you asked who was hungry, and I said me.
Yeah.
So
it's a good enough case.
If that counts as a good case, then yes. No, it would be very weird if you brought it specifically for me and then hoped. It's a bit of a gamble because of all the people in the audience that I was going to be the most vocal.
I mean, then it would have had, it would have been open to accusations of fixing.
Yes, we don't
do that in improv.
We don't fix improv. No.
No.
Well, we might fix it, but we don't fix it in that sort of way. So let's have a look at some of the previous questions. Nadine's thinking of a question.
Someone's thinking of one.
Keep
Nice.
going, Nadine.
We'll come back to you.
Yeah. Andrew Gentili.
Oh yeah, A-bag.
Is that what you call him?
Yeah.
Is that what he's called?
Yeah, I mean that's his name. That's what he's been known to me as for the past 9 years.
I did not know that.
A-bag.
He's never really a bag of.
Not a bag. A-bag.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm deliberately not going to ask what
I
that
don't
is.
know.
Oh, I see.
So
Fair
there's no
enough.
point in asking.
So he asks, have you ever melted something that was not edible?
Yeah, like candles.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. When were you? This is from Nathan Keats. Oh, hello. No, let's do this one.
Oh, a live one.
A live one from Nadine.
This is from Nadine Bailey, and she's asking, what themes come out in solo prov for you more than average when playing with others? I would say for me it's very personal themes. So whilst I tend to use, there'll be opportunities in playing with others where a character will be something similar to you, or has traits of someone you've seen in the street or something like that, and you can remember what they said and you use it, that kind of thing. But for me, with my solo prov, it can get very raw, it can get very personal. I've talked about through characters, I've talked about my grandfather dying, I've talked about people I've been in relationships with. It's got a bit sexy sometimes. So yeah, it's far more personal themes.
How sexy did it get?
Oh, I talked about what someone was doing to me. I mean, not in like a gross way.
Okay.
As in like an inappropriate way.
Right.
I mean, I was theoretically doing it with them.
Yes.
But it felt very much like it was to me. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the answer to that. That was a good answer. Nathan Keats asks.
Hi, Nathan.
Hi, Nathan. Has he got a nickname that I don't
No.
know about? That's fair enough. I feel like. When were you last so rained on that you were disgusted and upset?
That's never happened. Every time I get so rained on, I find that utterly delightful, because it's so rare that happens now. Because I live in London, you basically have shelter everywhere. It's very rare to get so rained on. So I remember the time I got incredibly drenched, so much to the point where even my underwear was wet. And I was just delighted that the elements could still do that.
Yes. I do wonder with that question whether Nathan has some experience of getting so rained on that he was disgusted and
Well, I
upset.
can imagine if it happens to you a lot, then, that I'm delighted now.
Yes.
But if it happened to me like 3 times a week, I'd be furious.
I mean, if it was happening once or twice, but if it's happening that often, I feel that you should make some changes to your life. I'm not saying...
Hey man, you can't control the weather.
No, you can't control the weather. That's a lesson for your kids. But, you could maybe make some different choices. Umbrellas.
Yeah, but I mean, again, elements. They blow them out. People steal them.
That is true.
This is a two-way street. It's a two-way street
So
between you and the elements.
Yes, you are right. It's like a conversation between me
Yeah.
and the elements. So when it comes to umbrellas, are you somebody whose umbrellas break,
No.
or do you lose them?
No.
Ah, Nathan's joined.
Hey! That's nice. We just answered your question.
Yeah, Nathan, we were just answering your question, so we've moved on to umbrellas now. But
No, they don't break, and no, I don't lose them. I am infallible in my possession of...
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Because I always have this theory that if your umbrellas break more than you lose them, then you should spend more money on your umbrellas.
I start with that, yep.
But if you lose your umbrellas before they break, you should spend less money on your umbrellas.
Yeah, that's a very good theory.
Thank you.
It just doesn't apply to me.
No, fair enough.
Because I'm brilliant.
Brilliant. No, I'm glad you don't ever lose your umbrellas. Nathan, if you do have another question, do send it our way. In the meantime, Amy Cook Hodgson.
Oh, yeah. All right, mate. Yep.
She got a nickname that I don't know about?
just sort of mate, really.
Okay, fair enough. That's good. That's good. Elephants don't forget.
Uh-huh.
So which memory in your memory bank would you never like to forget?
Well, which one do I never want to forget? Oh my gosh, that's too hard. Oh, I know.
That's too hard.
Wait,
oh, I know.
No. And it's because it's been a source of comfort for me fairly recently. I remember when I couldn't fall asleep at night, and when I was little, and my mum would just hold my little hand in between both of hers, and it's the most comforting sensation. And if ever I go for blood tests or anything sort of medical where I need a bit of calming down, I remember that. I remember that sensation.
That's really lovely.
Thanks, Mum. She's not on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook,
no.
So. Let's have one more.
One more.
If there is one more.
From the audience or from the book?
Well, whoever gets there quicker.
Okay.
Should we get, I mean, pressure's on you guys.
I will ask you a question about improv.
Yeah, sure.
So, what is the best or worst note that you've ever received? Did you take it, or what's the best or worst? What's the most common note you give other people?
Okay. Well, I can say, Jimmy Ginger.
Has he got a nickname I don't know about?
No, but it's just really fun being on Facebook and just like, I know people. The most common note I give other people, not like just randomly, like, hey man, I'm just gonna give you a note. And is slow down.
Slow down?
Yeah. Slow down, take a breath, take your time. Yes, you might be in a slot that's only 10 minutes long, and you therefore might feel that you have to really rush and cram that full of loads of really good things. But it's far better to just do like 10 solid quality minutes than 10 frantic ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, just slow down and take your time, really look at what you're doing, check in with your scene partner, and just gently figure things out. Because I mean, when I first started doing my solo show, and I had an idea of how the finished product was going to look, but obviously I wasn't getting 45-minute slots when I first started. I was getting 10 15s. And I was like, well, how do I don't know how to get the 45-minute idea into the 10-15. And then I think it was Michael Brunstrom who used to do tons of improv and is now fantastically successful doing. I believe he's under the alternative comedy banner.
Ooh.
I might be wrong, but he does weird and wonderful things. And he said, well, don't try and do that. Just do the first 10 minutes of your show.
Yeah.
And that was brilliant advice. So that's what I would suggest to everyone else. Don't try and do your whole show in the time you've been given. Make the show expand to fit that time.
I'm a really big fan of trying to say less, because the less you say, the more important each word is.
Yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one. Same with speeches. I think Churchill's speeches are half the length of normal speech.
Hello, Philip.
Good one, Church. Good one, Winston. And in terms of, did you say the best or the worst note?
Yes.
The worst note I was given, it has a very strong memory in my mind. It's after I did my first ever improvathon, and I came on to the last 10 hours of a 30-hour improvathon in Bristol that was run by the people who do the London one. So first time I'd ever done one. I wasn't very good. I had loads of pre-planning for my character, and I was trying to cram that into scenes, which is just dumb. And people were so nice. I was in most of my scenes. I was with Ruth Bratt, and she took such good care of me. She was delightful. And my now very much ex-boyfriend came down to Bristol to come and watch it basically after the show, he said to me, and I'd been off stage for probably a maximum of 20 minutes, like enough time to have got out of my costume and come around to the, the front of house. And he said, "No, I don't think you were having a very good time there, were you?" And I was like, "Oh well, yeah, it was quite difficult." He's like, "Yeah, I've got notes." And I was like, "Oh, right, okay." He was like, "Oh, well, maybe not for now though." And I'm like, "No, just just do it now." And he just talked at me for I think 25 minutes. Just talked at me about all the things I'd done wrong over the course of 10 hours and all of the choices I should have made. So I acted on this by just going to the toilet and bursting into tears. Where interestingly then, one of my friends came to come and find me, and she was being really nice. And then Ruth came in, and she overheard me saying that this is what he'd done. And I didn't know her. Like, I'd met her on stage. And, I just remember her going into a toilet cubicle, hearing what I said, hadn't even shut the door yet, and just came straight back out and was like, "He said what?" And was just furious on my behalf. So I have acted on that note by dumping him, not straight away, but, not dumping him, that's not true, that's not straight. We did break up and it was pretty mutual, but I started the conversation. And
did you go, "I've got some notes"?
Oh my god, that would have been so good.
Because I feel that's a wasted opportunity.
So good. And now I do loads more improvathons, and Ruth's a really nice friend, so I've done the best thing I could have done with that.
Yes, great.
Okay, let's do this one and then we're done.
Okay.
Did you have a habit that kept creeping into improv scenes that you worked on so it got less apparent? Mine is not looking at people's eyes. Do I have a habit? Did I have a habit that kept creeping? Oh, yeah, I did. So when I was with 8-Bit back in the day, so it wasn't really a note so much, because I don't think it came from Katie, it came from my friend Chris Mead, and he just made the observation that that I correct people's grammar or facts a lot.
Really?
Told you I was an arsehole.
Yes.
Told you.
To find out why, you'll have to listen to episode 114 of the Improv London podcast to find out why Jinni feels that she is.
Oh yeah, proper arsehole. But so I stopped doing that. I stopped correcting people on stage.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be a valid character choice.
Oh, but not all the time though, Stuart.
Well, no, fair enough.
Then you're just being an arsehole.
Yes, don't be that. Don't be that.
Don't be like me.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. This was really fun.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
This was really fun.
We should say, do check out episode 114 of the Improv London podcast, where you'll be able to hear Jinni talking about herself for an hour. It's very entertaining, and that will be out on Wednesday, the 27th of September.
Great.
From all the great places that you normally get podcasts.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.